Have you felt it? That quiet, kind of unsettling shift in the family dynamic? It usually shows up without any warning, maybe in a single conversation or even just a shared glance. But it's a moment that changes, well, everything. We're here to talk about one of the most profound and often unspoken transitions of later life, that moment when the parent-child roles start to flip. And just understanding this shift, that's the first, most crucial step toward navigating it with grace and with dignity for everyone involved. The central, deeply challenging moment of later life is the sudden, startling realization that the roles have shifted. Wow, this quote just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? It's not just about getting older, it's about a fundamental change in your identity, in your authority. And that feeling, that startling jolt when you realize your child is now making decisions for you, it can be really jarring, even painful. It can feel like you're losing control. And I really want you to know that is a completely normal part of this life stage. So in this explainer, we're going to unpack that feeling and offer a clear and, I think, empowering path forward. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to dive into that startling realization and what it actually feels like. Then we'll look at what's really changing under the surface, the deep psychological stuff at play. From there, we'll introduce a really powerful solution called the Lateral Partnership. I'll show you how to apply it safely, and we'll wrap up with some wisdom for the long haul. It's a clear path designed to help you make sense of it all and really move forward with confidence. Okay, let's start right there with that specific moment, the startling realization. It's usually not one big, dramatic event. It's more like a series of small, quiet ones. A suggestion about your driving that sounds a little more like a decision. A doctor's appointment that gets made for you without you asking. It's that subtle, kind of chilling moment when you realize, wait a minute, my child isn't just helping out anymore. They're starting to manage my life. Taking the keys. That can be literal, right? That incredibly tough conversation that ends with you handing over the car keys for good. But as we're talking about here, it's also deeply figurative. It's the moment your son starts managing your finances just to make it easier on you, or your daughter schedules your appointments without checking with you first. It's that huge shift from being the one in charge to the one being managed. And how you choose to react in these moments, that's everything. It can set the stage for years of conflict, or it can be the start of a brand new chapter, one built on mutual respect. The choice really does begin here. So to handle this well, we have to understand what's happening underneath it all. Why does this shift from our familiar hierarchy to a totally new kind of partnership feel so monumental? It's not just about who pays the bills or drives to the store, it's about some really deep-seated psychology. This feeling of unease, it has a name, and it has a reason. Let's dig into what's truly at the core of this emotional shock. And here it is. The root of this shock is something called role loss. The difficult emotions you might be feeling, it's a form of grief. For your entire adult life, you've been the provider, the protector, the decision maker. That role wasn't just what you did, it was who you were, it was your identity. And when that role starts to fade, it can feel like you're losing a piece of yourself. And let me be clear, this isn't weakness. It is a profound and completely valid sense of loss for an identity you held for decades. So what kicks off this role loss? It's the natural decline in what we call functional and decisional independence. Now, in plain English, that's just the ability to manage daily life and make key choices without help. As our ability to do that naturally fades over time, and it does for all of us, someone has to step in to help with the logistics. This is not a failure. I'm going to say that again. It is not a failure. It is a normal developmental stage of aging. The challenge isn't that it happens, but how the family adjusts when it does. And this simple chart just lays it all out, doesn't it? For years, the family structure was a hierarchy, like a pyramid with the parent right at the top. But as things change, that model just doesn't work anymore. Resisting this shift, trying to cling to that old pyramid when reality has changed, that's what creates all the friction and resentment. The healthy way forward is to consciously move from that pyramid to more of a handshake, a new lateral partnership where you and your child can operate as respected peers, where you both bring value to the table. So if the old way no longer works, what does? Well, this brings us to the core solution of this entire explainer, a proactive, powerful way of thinking that preserves dignity while acknowledging reality. We're calling it the Lateral Partnership, and as you can see here, it's all about one thing: retaining your final say. I want you to just let this idea sink in for a moment. Role reversal, in some form, is going to happen. You can't stop the tide of time, but your reaction to it, that is 100% within your control. Resistance is optional, and choosing to accept this reality doesn't mean you're giving up. In fact, it's the exact opposite. It means you're taking control of how the transition happens. It's the most powerful move you can make, turning what could be a crisis into a conscious choice.
So here is the solution, defined nice and clear. The lateral partnership isn't just some vague idea, it's an intentionally structured new dynamic. It's a deliberate agreement, whether you say it out loud or not, where the parent transitions to become the wise advisor and the adult child steps into the role of logistical manager. This isn't about winning or losing, it's about redesigning the family team so it works beautifully for this new chapter of life.
Now, what's so brilliant about this is how clearly it separates the duties. As the parent, you shift into the role of the wise advisor. Your job is no longer to do everything, but to provide the wisdom, the values, the life experience, the overall direction. Your child then becomes the logistical manager, handling the tasks and the checklists that you choose to delegate to them. See the difference? This isn't them taking power, this is you strategically handing over specific jobs while keeping the ultimate authority right where it belongs, with you. And this right here is the single most important rule of the entire partnership. It's the golden rule. Your logistical manager can research options, book appointments, manage the calendar. But the wise advisor, that's you, always retains the final say. You make the final call on your health, your money, and your life. This one principle is what protects your autonomy, your core identity, and your dignity. It's the non-negotiable that makes this whole thing work. Okay, so the theory sounds good, right? But how do you actually put it into practice without creating more confusion, or worse, more conflict? Let's move from the what to the how, with a practical toolkit for applying this concept safely and effectively. So we've got 4 clear intentional steps. First up, institute the final say rule. You have to say it out loud. Something like, I so appreciate you looking into new doctors for me. Why don't you put the top 3 options together, and then we'll decide together? Simple. Second, practice proactive delegation. Don't wait for your child to take over because they have to. You initiate it. Start small with a low-stakes task like, hey, could you handle renewing my prescription online this month? This shows you're in control of the process. Third, shift your language to request. Move from command to collaboration. Instead of do this, try, I would be so grateful if you could. That simple shift reinforces the new peer-to-peer dynamic. And finally, number 4, offer non-monetary reciprocity. Your child is giving you logistical help. You can offer them wisdom, a listening ear, your life experience. It keeps the relationship feeling balanced and mutual. Now, doing all this isn't just about making life easier today. This is really about the long game. It's an investment in the long-term health of your most important relationships. By doing this work now, you're actually building a new resilient bond, one that's strong enough to handle the challenges that will inevitably come up down the road. It ensures your connection actually deepens instead of fraying under pressure. And this is such an important point to really take to heart. Our culture tells us over and over that needing help is a sign of weakness. But the truth is, asking for and accepting help is not a sign of failure. It is an act of profound strength, wisdom, and love. It's you making a strategic choice to save your energy for what really matters, your relationships, your well-being, and your irreplaceable role as the family's wise advisor. It's a power move, not a sign of losing power. This quote just paints the perfect picture of the ultimate goal, doesn't it? By consciously delegating and retaining the final say, you ensure the parent-child bond evolves into a resilient, mature partnership defined by mutual respect. Just think about that. The friction, the power struggles, the unspoken resentments, they can all be replaced. And in their place, you build a relationship where you are honored as the parent and your child is respected as the capable adult they've become. It's a bond truly defined by mutual respect. We've covered a lot of ground, from the psychology of role loss to the practical steps for building a new partnership. So for our final section, let's distill all of this down to your very first intentional step. One clear, actionable idea you can take away today. If you remember just one thing from our time together, please let it be this. That startling moment when you realize the roles are shifting, it is not an ending. It is a call to action. It is your cue to step forward, to define the terms of this new partnership, and to clearly and lovingly establish your role as the one with the final say. So here is our gentle challenge for you. As you look at this question, think about it right now. What is one low-stakes task you can proactively delegate this week? Maybe it's researching a new phone plan, or setting up a grocery delivery, or handling one single online bill payment. The task itself really doesn't matter as much as the act of you initiating it.
That is your first, powerful step in practicing this new model and taking charge of the change. In the end, the anxiety that comes with role reversal is best managed through acceptance and communication. The most powerful insight here is the ability to separate those roles. You remain the wise advisor, providing the vision and holding the final say, while your child becomes the trusted logistical manager you have empowered. By taking these small, proactive steps, by choosing partnership over resistance, you ensure that your final years are defined not by struggle, but by dignity, by respect, and by a deep, mutual partnership. You remain the author of your own life story, all the way to the very end.